Good morning. Today we are diving into one of the most critical phases of software development life cycle, the feasibility study in software engineering, technical, economic, and operational analysis. So, in the context of software engineering in Matrix, we aren't just asking, can we code this? We are performing a multi-dimensional analysis to determine if a project should move forward or terminated. A feasibility study is a process of evaluation that identifies the strengths and weaknesses of a proposed system within its intended environment. So it acts as the primary filter for organizational resources, ensuring that we don't invest time and capital into ghost projects that are doomed to fail from the start. So it is an assessment of practicality of a proposed project or system. So the go and go decision, this serves as a filter to prevent the waste of the organizational resources. And then the scope for this one is to identify if the software solution aligns with the matrix of organizational goals and technical concerns. So at the right side, we have the SDLC funnel for the life cycle of the software development. Feasibility analysis isn't new, but its application in software engineering has evolved significantly. So originally rooted in 1950s, industrial engineering was strictly a financial calculation cost-benefit analysis. So, however, as software moved from simple calculations or calculators to complex systems in the year 1970s to 80s, the industry realized that money wasn't the only constraint. So we saw the birth of the Telos framework. Today, in the era of Agile and DevSecOps, feasibility is no longer a one-time event at the start of the project. It is a continuous assessment that allows us to pivot as technical or economic landscapes change. So the importance of software engineering and matrix. Why is this vital for our matrix of software components? So the first one is risk mitigation. So a master's level engineer knows that the most expensive bug to fix is the one where the entire project premise is flawed. So that's why risk mitigation is important. So we can identify the deal breakers before expensive coding begins. Second one is resource allocation. In any software matrix, resources are like developers' hours, server capacity, and stakeholder patience are finite. By conducting a formal analysis, we ensure these resources are applied to the most viable solutions. Finally, it provides legal and social protection for the stakeholders because it bridges the gap between technical teams and business executives by speaking both the code and the cost. And then it also ensures the software that we build is compliant with the regulations and is actually usable by the target demographic, preventing the building in a vacuum syndrome. So here are the applications in software engineering and matrix. So let's look at the three pillars of the application. We have the technical feasibility. So the focus here is the stack and hardware. So we evaluate the matrix of our tech stack. Do we have the hardware or do we have the expertise in any programming language such as Java, Python, or even artificial intelligence? So are we building a barangay portal or um, for example, can the local infrastructure support the database load? So we are asking the stack or and the hardware that we are going to use in technical feasibility. So the next one is the economic feasibility. So this is the cost benefit analysis. So we calculate the return of investments or the ROI. So we look at the development cost versus long-term maintenance cost. So we need to answer this question: will the software generate more value than its development costs? And lastly, the operational feasibility. So this is often overlooked but critical. So it asks, if we build it, will they come? If the software is too complex for the end users, like the government staff, it is operationally unfeasible, regardless of how good the code is. So you need to answer this question: will the staff or the users actually use the system? So to conclude, a feasibility study is the bridge between the great idea and successful product. For those of us in master's program, we must view software not just a technical challenge, but as a organizational investment. By balancing the capability, economic viability, and operational readiness, we create software that doesn't just work, it also lasts. So the goal of feasibility study isn't to say yes to every project. So it's to have the data-driven courage to say no when the matrix or the metrics doesn't align. So a software project isn't successful just because the code works. It must be sustainable and profitable. For this report, I have utilized various academic and industry sources. These are the references. Thank you for your time, and I am now ending this. Thank you so much for listening.